So, welcome to the final newsletter of the year. As mentioned previously, I'll be taking a break over the holiday season, but will return in early February. If you're in southern Alberta and would like to connect with me before then, I'll be at the Irrigated Crop Production Update on January 23rd in Lethbridge. You'll find the registration link by going to the transcript, which will be in the episode details. This month, I'm diving deeper into the topic of realistic regen ag with just 4 articles that explore it in greater detail. Along with the summaries and my own thoughts, I encourage you to save these articles in your favorite reading app and take the time to explore them fully. Now, speaking of reading, if you haven't had a chance to pick up my book yet, now is the perfect time. Winter is ideal for catching up on reading you meant to do over the summer. So if you check out the episode details, you'll see a link directly to how you can find this book locally, online, or as an e-reader version for your favorite app. Now, in case you're new here, let me introduce myself. I'm an author and an independent agronomist from the Western Canadian prairies, specializing in climate-smart agriculture. I focus on scientifically proven practices to benefit the planet and, just as importantly, farmers' economic sustainability. So be sure to visit my website, www.plantsTakeSoil.com, to learn about my book, Practical Regeneration, and for the services that I offer for farmers and agribusiness. The first article is called Promising Practices, Cover Cropping for Potato Nutrient Needs. This article inspired the title of this month's newsletter. At first glance, the headline might lead you to believe that cover crops were beneficial for potato nutrient needs. Closer look at the article reinforces that impression, initially at least. The researchers attempted to integrate cover crops into a Saskatchewan crop rotation after observing successes in other regions where nitrogen use efficiency was improved. The bottom line, it wasn't. The data showed no evidence of changes to in-season nitrogen dynamics when cover crops were added. The only notable impact occurred in the fall, where cover crops tied up some of the nitrogen. Now, the silver lining is that cover crops did not negatively impact yield. This suggests they could be integrated if there are other benefits, such as disease suppression. However, without any clear benefits, they represent an additional cost with a negative return on investment. It's worth noting that this was only a 3-year study, so the researchers are correct in stating that longer-term rotations are needed to observe potential differences. One concern I have is the potential for cover crops of similar species to increase disease pressure. For example, a brassica species, tillage radish, was introduced midway between a canola crop. Could this increase the risk of clubroot or other canola diseases? In a recent episode of The Agronomist, I asked Lana Shaw about the frequency of intercrops, and her response highlighted the importance of maintaining proper break periods. In other words, you can't grow a chickpea flax intercrop every 2 years between cereal crops as a substitute for the 4-year rotation with separate chickpea and flax crops. The next article is Phosphorus on Organic Farms, from struvite to pea cycling. This is an example of data being acknowledged and addressed. A quote from the article from Dr. Joanne Thiessen-Martens from the University of Manitoba says, "Organic farming has a phosphorus problem. This problem is especially common in long-term organic systems if livestock manure is scarce and the soil is alkaline." The article continues, stating, "Incorporating cover crops in the crop rotation can make P, in this case phosphorus, available to crops. However, more P may still be needed as a soil amendment." Joanne further explains, "In most cases, more phosphorus is removed with the products and applied as fertilizer, leading to reductions in plant-available soil phosphorus, which threatens the long-term sustainability of organic farming systems." This article dives deep into sources of phosphorus available to organic farmers, outlining the pros and cons of each. Some challenges are ethical, such as carbon impact of long-distance shipping, environmental degradation from mining the amendment, and worker safety concerns during the recovery. Another significant issue is product safety. Without the processing methods that are prohibited in organic systems, materials can contain high levels of metals that are toxic to plants. Additionally, these products may harbor human, plant, or animal pathogens. Now, one proposed solution is pee cycling. And in this case, the pee refers to urine. Recovering phosphorus in the form of struvite from waste treatment systems. Organic standards allow this when it's sourced from animals, but not from humans. Because struvite is precipitated mineral, the risks of contamination, whether organic or inorganic, are minimal to non-existent. Dr. Joanne Thiessen-Martins focused on this approach during her PhD research and has achieved significant success with it on the prairies. Allowing this would be one step towards a circular economy. The next article is The Weeds Are Winning. This article was brought to my attention in the Future Ecologies Discord server. If you're not familiar with either, Future Ecologies is a podcast I love, and the Discord server is a place for fans to discuss the show and other topics of ecology. A couple of years ago, I was fortunate to be able to produce an episode on the show about agricultural potential of carbon sequestration. MIT Technology Review isn't a place I'd expect an article about herbicide resistance, but it turned out to be a great overview of the issue. Sometimes an outside voice can see the issue clearly. The article covers the early days of herbicides and traces their evolution through the decades. Being a technology magazine, it covers many of the advances in non-chemical controls and many of the things that I teach in the precision agriculture courses. Now, just to finish off the year, I want to introduce you to the native pollinators that exist in southern Alberta. The article is called The Buzz About Native Pollinators, and it's from the Old Man Watershed Council. Now, I recognize many of the critters profiled in this article because I keep a messy yard. I love seeing insects that show up. And for most of the year, I have flowers available for at least someone in this selection of insects. Now, right now, many of them are overwintering in the mulch, leaves, and stems that I have left in place. So thank you for listening to the podcast. Just a reminder, you can check out my book. The link will be in the episode description. And I will see you in the new year.